In today's video, I will be telling you about 3 true creepy stories. Enjoy. My mum and dad don't believe in ghosts. When I mention them, they just say that ghosts don't exist, but I think this is to make me less scared. It was around 9:30. I was upstairs watching an episode of Supernatural with my mum and dad. We were in the pitch black with the blinds open and no light but the street lamps on the street shining through. We were sitting just casually watching it when there was a huge bang, like a square TV had fallen off a shelf or something. Me, my mum and dad got up and ran to the top of the stairs and shouted to my grandparents to see if they were okay. They said they were fine and heard the noise as well. My dad grabbed a torch and went round to the front and back of the house and into the garage to see what had happened. When he came back in, there was nothing there, he told us. After a few days passed, when I went to bed, I would go cold and keep staring behind me as if someone was watching me. I would keep staring around the floor because I was too scared to turn back. I also heard a lot of scratching on my wooden wardrobes, which used to scare me a lot, but now I've become used to it and begun to live with it. Also, there's been occasions where things have gone missing and then appeared hours or days later. I still don't understand how and why though, and I don't think I ever will. When I was 7, my sister was 9 and my brother was 5. My brother got put into care. We see him every 6 weeks or so. No one knows him anymore in the neighbourhood. It was almost 10 years ago he moved into care, and a lot of people have moved house since then. Last night I was upstairs in my room watching television and I heard some strange voices outside calling my brother's name, Stuart, really loud. As I went to look out the window, there was no one there, so I just thought nothing of it and went back to watching television. The adverts came on the telly, and whilst I was skipping them, the room went dark and I heard a loud thud, probably loud enough for the neighbours to hear. So I turned my bedroom light on and nothing. Everything just went quiet and back to normal. My friend Jamie and I were at my nan's house while she was out at a friend's, and we decided to watch The Grudge. We were sat in the living room having a laugh and being frightened by the film when we heard a slight bang in the kitchen. We thought nothing of it at first and said it was probably our imaginations running away with us because of the film. Just a few minutes later, we heard a bang again, so this time we went into the kitchen to investigate. Everything was as it was before. We were a little freaked out, but again we shook it off. As we carried on watching the film, Jamie heard a slight knocking sound coming from the wall next to him. He asked me whether I could hear them, but I couldn't, and I thought he was just trying to scare me. We decided to turn the film off as we were getting quite frightened when we heard a bang in the kitchen again. We went in and a magnet which had my name on was on the floor. We were quite startled by this. I put the magnet back on the fridge and we went back to watch some TV. Just seconds after we had sat down again, we heard the same bang as before. We went in to find the same magnet on the floor. At this point, I began to get quite frightened as there were 2 other magnets on the fridge with my sister's name and my cousin's name on them. Why did mine keep coming off? This happened another 3 times. When I'd finally had enough, the 3rd time I went in alone and cursed whatever was making this happen. I then felt really cold and saw a dark shadow dart past me. As I began to run into the living room where my friend was, the magnet fell off again, but with a louder bang this time. We'd had enough and decided to go out to our friend's house. As we arrived there, we saw my nan coming out of her friend's house, and we went over to tell them about the magnet, not mentioning the knocking on the wall next to my friend. My nan told us that she believed her house is being haunted, as she's had a few experiences herself. My nan's friend then turned around and asked whether we heard knocking on the wall. My friend told them that he did, but I didn't.